in a couple moments. Elder Becca Neindorff brings our final moment for stewardship for our Live to Give series. As Jenna Allen and Tamara Traziak did the last 2 Sundays, Becca shares about how she has seen God at work in our congregation. As you'll soon hear, the best giving happens when we can see the impact of our gifts. I hope you're paying attention to the incredible things the Spirit of God is doing here among us. I also hope that these stories will stir both gratitude for God's unfailing faithfulness and excitement for the opportunities that we have to give next week at Consecration Sunday and again on October 30th. Church has left the building. I'm so grateful for Becca for all that she gives, all that she does. I'm grateful for her brother and for her dad. Becca, thank you for sharing today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When I was first asked to speak to you this morning, I was very tempted to say no. I don't like being in front of large groups of adults. You can put me in front of 1,000 kids and I'm fine. Put me in front of 20 adults and I get a little tongue-tied. Also, usually when I'm up front at church, I'm hiding behind the piano. Not so much when I have to stand up here and speak. But then I started to think about how many volunteers we need for Vacation Bible School every summer, and how Holly sometimes struggles to find adult volunteers, and I decided to put my misgivings aside and speak about my experience with Vacation Bible School with you. At the beginning of his sermon 2 weeks ago, Stuart asked the question, who taught you to give? My answer to that question is very simple: my parents. My parents set a very good example of not only giving financially, but giving of your time as well. In that same sermon, Stuart listed 2 reasons why unintentional givers give and 5 reasons why intentional givers give. See, Stuart, I was listening. I think that those reasons translate very well to why people volunteer. Honestly, I think I started out as an unintentional volunteer when I was a teen. I did it because it was expected and because the church needed it. Now I have many more than 5 reasons why I intentionally volunteer for VBS, but I'll only share a few of those with you this morning. If you want to find out some more of my reasons, talk to me after the service. I'd be happy to share. First of all, I'm Presbyterian, born and raised. And if you know my father at all, you know he is very sound in his love of Jesus, as well as theology and the polity and traditions of the Presbyterian Church. He's passed his love on to me. Do you recognize these words? Do you, as members of the Church of Jesus Christ, promise to guide and nurture this child by word and deed with love and prayer, encouraging them to know and follow Christ and to be faithful members of his church? In case you aren't as up on your Presbyterian traditions as my family, those are the vows that the congregation takes every time we baptize a child. One of the intentional reasons I volunteer is because I was taught to take these vows seriously, and this is how I choose to fulfill those vows that I've taken. Another intentional reason I volunteer for VBS is my love for children and my desire to share God's love with them. I can't commit to teaching Sunday school every Sunday, but I can commit to 3 hours a day for a week during the summer. Intentional reason number 3. By design, VBS has a much broader reach into our community than Sunday school does. I love reaching out to both the children of our congregation and the children of our community. I've been helping Holly with VBS for so long now that I've gotten to watch not only our children, but the children of this community grow up and then return to volunteer every summer. The last intentional reason I will share with you today is that I learned far more about Jesus' love for us in that 1 week than I do the entire rest of the year. If you haven't heard a child's explanation of God's love for us, or their answer to what we think of as complex theological issues, but they're able to winnow down to the essential truth, then you're missing out. If any of my reasons struck a chord with you, I strongly encourage you to ask Holly how you can help when she starts looking for volunteers next spring. Volunteering can be as simple as greeting children and parents at the door, to assisting in or running one of our areas like rec, crafts, Bible, or music, to being willing to be the leader for a class, to assisting with decorating our space the week prior to VBS, or to making sure that we have snacks for all of our children. Today's way of the week is You're Sent, Now Go, and volunteering at VBS is one of the ways that you and I can go for God.